Hi, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. We are introducing a new company that is participating in X-Culture for the first time. So I learned about them, what it's been like 3, 4, 5 months ago, and I'm very intrigued about the whole idea, but also would like to learn more about, one, the business model. The company is on a mission to change the law industry or law services industry completely, and I pray that they succeed at it. In the United States, lawyers are expensive, let me put it this way. And so there is a company that can put some good AI and technology to use and make this industry less expensive and more accessible. I would be very, very happy about that. I don't know how things are happening or going with law in other countries. Plus, the company has a Ukrainian connection. So even though the founders, the presenters are in Poland and Spain at this time, but it does have a Ukrainian connection. And as you may know, I am Ukrainian, even though I have lived for 2/3 of my life outside of Ukraine, but I am Ukrainian. So I'm very happy to see a Ukrainian company on the list. And so I guess I'll turn the microphone to our speakers here, and we'll ask to start with introducing the company, telling us a little bit about the history, the idea, the product. And then we would like to hear also more about your struggles as entrepreneurs. So you are guys where most of our students want to be in a few years. So you're living the dream of being an entrepreneur. Many of our students will be on this journey soon. And so hopefully they can also learn from your successes, but also maybe mistakes if you've made any. So please do tell us about your company. I'm not sure in which order you want to go. And so yes, the microphone is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Yegor. I'm the CEO of the Loio, and it's a product that I will present to you today.
Immediately, one question, if I may. So the correct pronunciation of the company name is Loio, right?
Yes, correct.
So people have been asking me about that. Plus, your L looks a little like an I, so some people thought maybe it's IO. So Loio from law, right? Like legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've
So
had a few
basically,
questions about that.
Lawyer, it's a lawyer in Hawaiian. So it's basically a translation, direct translation of a lawyer. So that's why we've chosen this name. But we are looking on changing the name soon, because there are a lot of issues with pronunciation, and we also discover this mistake. As you said, there are some mistakes, and we definitely did some. That's why we're trying to learn on them. Yeah.
And Vasil, I just want to remember that like in 2017, we already participated in X-Culture. And our previous company, plagiarism detection software called Unplug, it was also bad naming. So we changed in 2018, we changed the name Unicheck, and it was like number 2 plagiarism checker in the United States and number 3 in the world.
And by the way, for you students too, so I kind of like Loio. So once I realized it's an L, not an I, and it's Loio, and especially if it means something in Hawaiian, like a lawyer, I think it's a beautiful name. But at the same time, we have people from something like 40, 50, 60 countries and like over 100 countries by the country of origin. So if you guys either think the name doesn't sound right or is confusing in your language, or if you have a better idea, do suggest them. I mean, it doesn't mean that the company will jump on it and change its name right away, but who knows, maybe a good idea will come from you.
Yeah, how the user pronounces the name, like for the first time he sees it, is very important, because like the first type of pronunciation you will do, you will like remember it forever. So it's very important. Okay, we also will have one more presenter here. It's Andriy Parkhomenko.
What is his name? Yep. So I'll make sure to move him to them. Yeah.
Yeah, he will show the demo.
Yes. He's already here. Yeah.
Yeah, of a product. So let me share my screen. Actually, I can't share my screen. I don't have enough permissions because I want to show some slides.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was looking for Andriy. Yes, you should be able to share the slides, right?
No, I'm not. I'm disabled.
Just a second. My apology for that. Co-host, that should solve it. Very nice to see Andriy.
Yeah, hi everyone. I had some issues with joining.
And I see the logo on his background is Lorena. So is that competition? Is that an old company? I know you're all serial entrepreneurs, and that's probably your fifth company or something like that. But so
just give me a second. Let me share my screen. Okay. I will explain everything.
So it's complicated. That's the answer, right?
Yeah, of course.
But
entrepreneurship
yes,
is very complicated.
But those who are watching, one important thing though, so I know less Yegor and Andriy, but I know Serhiy very well. And so the man is a serial entrepreneur. So he is a sort of a big shot entrepreneur in general in Ukraine, in Kyiv, known, has been in charge of one of the biggest startups, or at least, Unicheck has become one of the biggest companies. But he's been associated, I lost track with how many companies. And so if you want to learn about basically starting a company, you probably want to talk to people who tried multiple times. So they have a larger sample and they probably have seen every possible screw up, every possible problem. And so stay away from people who only tell you about successes. So talk to people who've done it many times and maybe not every time were successful, because that's the useful experience. It will never be smooth. It will never be, straight road to success and becoming a millionaire. And so I recommend talking to these guys, maybe even, getting their contacts if you need advice, if you need guidance, if you need maybe contacts. So definitely people who can help you on that stage.
Okay. So today we will speak about our product, which is named Loio. And Loio is an AI-driven solution for lawyers to draft contracts faster and make less mistakes. So we deliver Loio usually as an easy-to-install Microsoft Word add-in, and Loio can use it directly in Microsoft Word in any platform. It can be Windows, macOS, it can be online Office. And we are also thinking for possibilities to integrate Loio in other environments, for example, Google Doc. We are looking for possibilities to integrate Loio with some document management systems, etc. And basically, what is Loio? So Loio is a multifunctional contract assistant. So it allows you to draft faster, and also it helps you to do less mistakes while you are drafting the contract. So a little bit of story behind. I added this slide because I need to explain what is Larina on the background, in the background. So basically, we're building multiple projects, multiple products at the same time. We're a technology company, which our main expertise is building like complex software, which includes some artificial intelligence, high-load systems, big data, etc., etc. So it's our main expertise, and we have multiple like products in parallel, and some of them are focused on legal technology, like different software for legal specialists or for people who seek for legal help. And that's why basically Loio is like a child project of Larina, because Larina is a legal tech ecosystem where we build a lot of different products for different use cases. But Loio is mainly focused on professionals. So Loio is for lawyers, and in Larina we have different solutions which allows connect clients and lawyers, like resolve some legal issues without actually getting in touch with lawyers, etc. And as a part of our background, so these are projects that are currently in progress. And as Sergey said about our background, one of our previous projects was Unicheck, and it was like pretty successful because it was like the second plagiarism checker in USA, but it was different domain. So we kind of switched domain from education technologies to legal technologies. So that's a little like information what is behind Loio. And as I mentioned previously, so our main approach is like we're a technology focused company, and we have a lot of expertise in building like cutting edge technologies, software which has like a lot of AI, a lot of natural language processing, some like large language models. Yeah, I know like most of you heard about raising popularity of large language models, for example, like ChatGPT, etc. So we also work with that kind of technology, and we're looking for possibilities where to use this type of, I would say, like latest technologies to streamline, to improve the process of doing routine tasks. So basically, that's what Loio is about. We use modern technology to improve routine tasks of a lawyer. So who benefits the most from Loio?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So do I understand correctly that you are focusing on providing services to lawyers and not users of the legal services? So you're not like LegalZoom, where I, as a customer, can use the service so I don't have to use a real lawyer. You are offering the services to basically lawyers, businesses in a way. Is that correct, or did I?
If we're speaking about Loio only, yes. Because as I previously said, Loio is a child project of Lorina, and in Lorina we basically have a lot of different products, including something similar to LegalZoom. Yeah, so we're trying to build an ecosystem, but the Loio, I would say it's the most advanced our product in terms of technology, and it's focused only on lawyers. So it's like the main.
So do you present yourself as B2B then in that case, sort of, for Loio? Because lawyers kind of are, I guess they are private individuals, but most of the time they're law firms, right? So would it be considered then B2B or BTC? What's the sort of proper way to classify you?
Yeah, we classify ourselves in terms of Loio as B2B.
B2B.
Of course, we work like in both ways. So like individual can buy Loio. It's not a problem, and actually we have a lot of individual clients. But yeah, in terms of such product, we're focusing mostly on B2B sales.
Very interesting. Okay, that's the point that I didn't catch, and that's interesting. That's differentiation. Okay, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, but at the same time, in parallel in Lorina, we have B2C customers and etc. So it's like, as I previously said, it's complicated a little bit. Okay, so if we speak about Loio only, what like the main audiences Loio is suitable for, as we think, we may be mistaken, because we're still looking for a like good product market fit, but we're mostly focusing on law firms and in-house legal departments. Yeah, so also Loio benefits a lot of solo practitioners, but in terms of from business perspective, yeah, we don't think that it's a good like kind of market for us. I mean, in terms of scaling, yeah. Also, Loio benefits a lot land managers, because they work. They do a lot of like different work with similar contracts, and like Loio can benefit them because they're not lawyers, yeah, but they do a lot of similar job, I would say. And basically, any professional that works a lot with commercial contracts, yeah. So it's potential audiences that can use Loio, and they will benefit from using Loio. But our main focus is small and mid-sized law firms and in-house legal departments. Here, like we break down this a little bit more. So basically, any legal team in any business can implement Loio to streamline their processes and improve efficiency of contract drafting and contract review stages, like of their work. And of course, law firms which have a lot of lawyers, and they do like a lot of paralegals, and they do a lot of paperwork, like similar paperwork, drafting and redoing and reviewing same contracts over and over and over again. A lawyer, of course, can benefit them in terms of performance. Also, also big enterprise law firms is also potential our customer segment, but at current stage we we didn't achieve our market penetration level yet to start working with enterprise law firms, because they're too big and they have a lot of established processes, and it's like at our current stage of development it's hard to inject in this company. So we're mostly focusing on in-house counsels, small, medium-sized law firms, I would say. Yeah, so I will also explain a little bit about our perfect customer profile. Yeah, so who is our end user and what is his perfect profile? So our user, he should spend a lot of hours per day on contract reviews, or contract drafting. He should work with a lot of typical contracts. He should be innovation focused, because actually that's a problem in this domain, because many legal professionals are trying to resist, the resist the integration of a lot of innovative solutions into their workflow, and do the stuff like they were doing it 20 or 30 years ago. So it's very important to understand that not every lawyer will start using innovative product, even if it will benefit him. That's the problem we've met with while we were trying to make deals, etc., etc.
Igor, can you explain to us, so when you say contract reviewing, what exactly, I'm not a lawyer and I suspect most of our students aren't either. So what exactly does the task involve? So are they looking for typos in the contract, or are they looking for some sort of potential pitfalls that eventually or later can sort of bite their clients, so to speak? Or so when you say review contracts, what does it mean? What are they looking for in those contracts?
Yeah, I understand.
I can give some background, sense. Yeah. First of all, we have different types of lawyers and practices. We have family law, commercial law, etc., etc., etc. But what is common? The common is contracts, because we live in a world where contracts matter, really matter the most. So when we started developing the solution, and we are professionals in natural language processing and working with text, etc. Contract drafting and contract editing are the main parts of legal work, and paralegals, attorney, lawyers, they all work on this. So when they start on each case working, really important part is contract drafting and contract editing. And now you can continue.
Yeah. So basically, first goes contract drafting, then contract editing, and finally contract review. So, and the loop can begin all over again if the negotiation process continues. And actually, in each of this stage, if we look closer, before you start editing, you review it first, yeah? So to find mistakes and actually perform the editing. So that's why there are a lot of contract reviews in the presentation, and I often say this. But what it actually matters is a lawyer trying to understand what parts of the contracts are missing that will damage, that potentially can do some damage to their client. Yeah, that's most important part. And the second very important part is checking, mostly checking for some minor mistakes, because minor mistakes in the addresses, amounts, names, numbering even in the contract can be very harmful in the result. That's why not only the structure and the fullness of the contract matters, also minor mistakes matters. And with Loio, we try to address both issues. So later, Andrei will show you how actually the product looks like, and we try to address both types of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so very important part. One more point here is that actually our customer tries not to hire people for monkey jobs. It also very important here because
you might want to clarify the expression monkey jobs in case students don't understand that.
Yeah, definitely. So in the industry, it's very common to hire a lot of editors or paralegals. It's the type of job where people actually do manual editing, and since many law firms actually bill for hour, client pays for hour of each particular individual who works on the contract. Often it doesn't very important for them to actually speed up the process of editing or reviewing the contract, and they may want to basically hire more junior lawyers or paralegals or low quality, I would say cheap employees, to actually do the stuff and earn more rather than increase the efficiency of this particular process in minutes, hours, in the amount of mistakes, etc., etc. So that's the problem. And when we're trying to address the market, we are trying to avoid sometimes companies which have a lot of hired paralegals because they may not, or there is less possibility for us to actually close the deal as a result.
Yeah.
It's our experience. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's our experience at the current stage.
Yep.
Okay, I think at this stage it's okay moment for Andrew to drop in and actually show how our product works. Mm-hmm. And maybe after that I will add something more. I will see. Okay.
Yeah, hi everyone. Let me share my screen for you. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So in terms of Loio features and Loio use cases, just a second. As Igor told you before, our Loio is Microsoft Word add-in or plugin. It could be easily installed to Microsoft Word. For example, here I have desktop version of Microsoft Word on my macOS here. So you simply go to Insert tab, click Get Add-ins, and install in Loio. It takes around 5 minutes. So what Loio does and how Loio basically works. For example, here we have a typical purchase and sale agreement for improved real estate. It's a pretty typical agreement for United States,
and this is in Microsoft Word, right? So that's not the program's interface, it's just plain Microsoft Word, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be here, if I close Loio, when you install Loio to your computer, to Microsoft Word, it's going to be on the top right corner here. So you can hide it if you don't need it for this particular contract or for this particular part of the job you're doing. But when you need Loio, you just click here. It opens in the second window in Microsoft Word, and here you can start working with that. So in terms of contract processes, as Yehor mentioned before, we have different stages of contract workflow. So it's going to be contract drafting, contract review process, some editing, contract signing, etc., etc. So let's imagine the situation that, for example, someone wants to buy some real estate or something like that, and the lawyer gets pre-drafted agreement or the lawyer drafts agreement itself, and then after the agreement was drafted, or when the lawyer get this agreement from his customer or from his vendor, so this lawyer would like to review this contract, fix all the mistakes, add all the essential data to this contract, and make it look clean and tidy. So because this is lawyer's job, and he's getting paid for that. In terms of this contract, purchase and sale agreement, it is around 9 pages, but contracts can include 50 or 60 pages, for instance. So it's very important, like to review it, to make less mistakes, and make these contracts perfect. So with Loio, you can just scan this contract. It would take around 10 seconds.
And it's all cloud-based, I assume, right? So the information goes, can it be used offline, or is it?
Yeah, exactly. So when you see this screen that Loio scanning your contract, that means that all the data is being encrypted, sending to the servers, which is Amazon servers. And after that, this data are being processed on the server. And after that, you're getting the summary of the contract. So this is...
let me add a little bit. So basically, we process the data, but we store it optionally on our side, because many customers, especially lawyers, don't want their data to be stored somewhere else. And like, we ask for a consent from them to store their data to actually improve Loio, because we use their data to retrain and improve accuracy of our AI. But if they don't want, not a problem. We just analyze it, and their file is gone from our service. So we don't store their document, and that's why there is no possibility of some kind of a leak, or data breach, because we don't have the data. Yeah, it's a very common question from our clients, actually.
Yeah, so it's about security, and in terms of Loio features, here we can see our contract health score, and our 3 main features, which is clause analysis, tips, and key terms inside the contract. So how it works? First of all, I think our strongest feature is clause analysis. So what does it mean? Every contract contains different clauses. So, for example, we have purchase and sale agreement, and this purchase and sale agreement includes termination triggers, rights and obligations, governing law, etc., etc. So all these clauses should be included in the contract, just for this contract to be protected from all sides, and just all these clauses make this particular purchase and sale agreement works. So if you have another type of the contract, for example, insurance agreement or oil and gas agreement, there will be different clauses over there. So that's why we have here our contract type, which is sales and purchase agreement. But in case you have another contract, for example, employment agreement, general agreement, you have to select the correct agreement type in order for the system to understand what clauses needs to be implemented in this contract, and basically what clauses have to be included in this contract. So do you understand what I'm telling, or it's just too complicated?
It makes perfect sense. Yep.
Okay, great. So our system identifies that for purchase and sale agreement, we need 12 mandatory clauses over there, and the system looking for all these clauses inside the contract structure, and here we have 11 out of 12 mandatory clauses. So Loio suggests what clauses are missing. For example, we have missing clause for disputes, so we haven't mentioned any disputes inside the contract, so it may affect contract in future. And also we have some duplicated clauses. So for example, for closing we have 2 clauses, Basically, it's two different clauses, but they're telling about one thing, which is closing. And also we have two clauses for warranties. So it can be here. You can click navigate all over the contract, and it's over there. So duplicate clauses, that's not something that you would like to have in your contract. And that's what lawyers pay attention to. So how Loio can help in terms of these clauses, duplicates, etc. So when you're doing this job manually, you have to read all the contract, look for these duplicates. And when you have 60-page contract, it's, just hard to remember all the clauses. You have like to write it down, on some spreadsheet or something like this, that, for example, I have this clause, this clause, this clause. And for example, then when you notice duplicate, you have to go back, find this duplicate, fix it, etc., etc. So with Loio, you can do it easier, spending less time, and checking all the clauses faster. It has better navigation, so you can check all the clauses one by one and fix it.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And also, one issue we're facing with this particular feature, which is clause analysis, is that this feature is hard to implement for different legal companies and big legal departments, because law in the United States is very different from state to state, and
Yep.
Each lawyer has different rules, each legal company has different rules. So for example, for one lawyer, it's okay to have 12 clauses in purchase and sale agreement, for example, and for another lawyer, it has to be like 15 clauses, and another legal company would like to have only 5 clauses inside this contract. So it just depends on the company, depends on the lawyers. So that's the issue we would like to find a solution for this issue, because when we're trying to demonstrate this feature, to sell this feature, so usually our clients asking, so what if I don't need this 12 clauses, I need only 5 clauses inside purchase and sale agreement, or what if I need more than 12 clauses? So this is the question we are trying to answer, how maybe to develop this feature and how to sell this feature.
What is the engine of this system sort of under the hood? Is it using ChatGPT? Is it using one of those Bard or some of the other Perplexity, or do you have your own AI or something else completely?
We have our own models, basically, because we started to working on prototypes for this technology actually before there was like this rising trend for large language models, ChatGPT, etc., etc. So actually, it's our in-house built technology, and we don't use any third-party.
So wait a second. So you're saying that you developed your own AI or own algorithm? So
Yes.
Can it be also sold as a self-standing product, or do you only use it for contract checking for your own needs? Because this is interesting. I mean, this could be, it sounds like a big deal in and of itself.
So actually, it's machine learning technology, definitely, but it's not as universal as ChatGPT, etc. So it's focused on working with contracts, and it's even focused on working with particular types of contracts. That's the issue Andrew was trying to explain. We're currently struggling with an issue because of the huge amount of different contract types, and all of them require special treatment, because there are like many variations of the contract types, and it's nearly impossible to generalize them. That's why some kind of an AI which tries to generalize things doesn't work good right now, especially on complex legal contracts.
The reason I'm asking is because if I drop a file into ChatGPT, for example, GPT-4 or whatever other system, and ask to analyze the contract, I think it will try to do it and it will give me some sort of a result. And so what you're saying is that whatever I get from GPT or Bard or Perplexity or whatever other Bing and so on, so or what is it, Claude? So those results will not be as accurate, not as useful as what you developed in-house. Is that correct? Or
I would say that it's partly correct. So first of all, you won't be able to drop in ChatGPT or any other AI a 60-page contract because the context is very limited. I think the most advanced model can handle up to approximately 20,000 words. Yeah, and it's like the context size, including the prompt to them, and the prompt will be huge. So they won't like see the entire context of the document. The second thing is that such kind of models like to hallucinate and see the things where they are not present. And the most critical part for us is to not detect clause when it's absent, because when we say to lawyers that, come on, there are termination triggers, but there are not, it's a very big problem. We can say that there are not termination triggers in the contract, but they are. It's not a such big problem when it's like, vice versa. And AI models like GPT, they tend like to hallucinate and see what is not there, etc., etc. And the third problem is that anyway, even such huge AI needs to be curated by a lawyer, because the list of mandatory clauses was built by lawyers for lawyers. And if you will try to ask a ChatGPT to just enumerate you a list of mandatory clauses for real estate, lease agreement, purchase and sale, doesn't matter, it will come up with different answers every time, And it's very important to be strictly the same each time over and over again. Of course, we are trying to leverage the technology in the Loio right now, but we didn't come up with a really working solution for now.
Yeah, I'm just as an illustration, if I may, so if it's showing my screen, so I took a rental agreement from my own archive. So ChatGPT, let's try this one. So I'll just take it as an example. And so I'm asking it to analyze and suggest improvements. I think Bard only takes images, so I don't want to convert it to image. Claude should be able to take any PDF file. So let's see if this is gonna work. And so I'll also ask the same request.
And Vasil, I just want to say that in your question, you already answered on this question because you said some sort. And for lawyers, for legal professionals, some sort doesn't work because when you have a legally binding agreement between 2 or 3 parties, and they have some of value to exchange. So every mistake, every duplicated clause, every made up clause, everything is like something that could be attacked by another lawyer.
Right,
so
right.
You can lose your money, you can lose everything. So everything should be perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
So some sort doesn't work.
And I'm not sure if my prompts were any meaningful, so I simply asked for the analysis, and it's just basically giving me the basic information, like the amendment date, the price, some of the keys, but I don't see really any good improvements. So Bard didn't do anything. Claude gives me something, but again, you're right. I mean, it has to be completely perfect because you cannot mess with the law. It can cost you in court later on. So it seems like it's trying to do something, but I have no idea if it's doing a good job or not. So it'd be nice to have a professionally designed.
We research a lot actually this topic, and we even had some prototypes where we replace different parts of our AI with ChatGPT, and we're still working on one issue which we currently handle with our AI technology. We try to leverage GPT for that. It's like some lawyers tend to write clauses inside a clause, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like a nested one. And sometimes that's a problem for our AI, and we try to leverage GPT for this particular case.
Yeah, yeah.
But when we were testing GPT as a like drop-in replacement for our detection models, there was an issue with like GPT often tries to he always tries to do his best on your request.
Yeah,
And if you ask him to find the termination triggers when there are not termination triggers, for example, yeah, he will try to find termination triggers everywhere, you know. He will find anything which is similar enough to termination triggers and tell you that, hey, it looks like termination triggers.
Yeah.
And that's a problem with like our product structure right now, because for us it's better not to find a clause rather than find it like in a wrong way, you know. So that's the problem for us. And actually there are competitors on the market, products that try to solve similar issue but in a different way, and they use GPT. So like solutions like you're asking about, I exist already.
Yeah.
But they tried like to work in a like different way, I would say. So
well, it's such a big industry that I'm sure there is a need for, not only there is a room for multiple players, but there is also a need for multiple players. We have a few questions for you specifically, and since we're running out of time, I want to get into this. One, so the instructions require that students interview lawyers wherever they live and ask them, you know, are you using any tools like this? Would you like to use tools like that? How much are you willing to pay, and things like that? Any special guidance and advice on how to approach potential customers and what questions to ask as they're trying to better assess market fit and figure out how lawyers think about these products so that they can develop a better marketing strategy for your company?
Yeah, maybe I can answer this question. It's not really important how they're ready to pay, because you know all the lawyers are mentioning that if you have a great solution that will work for our cases, we would pay as much as you're telling, because you know completing some difficult lawyer's tasks is really expensive. So it's not about the price, and you know we have to know what issues they would like to resolve using software. We need to know what processes takes a lot of time for lawyers. So one lawyer can, you know, spend hours checking for these clauses. Another lawyer do not check for clauses at all because he has his typical contracts and he need like, you know, some another technology. So we need to know what tasks take, what are the most painful moments for the contract processes inside the company, how the contract processes goes inside the company, because you know once again some legal companies can use some templates for contract drafting and it's easier. Some legal companies can draft contract from scratch, so we need to know what legal processes they have, what takes the most time, you know, and what processes can be you know, what processes they would like to affect when they're using software.
Yeah, outsource to the robots, so to speak. Geography. So you are in Europe. You are, I assume, interested in expanding into as many markets as possible. Are there any specific countries that you're most interested in? Are there countries that you're not interested in? Does the language of the country, or at least the law industry in the country, does that matter? Does your program work only with English or other languages? You mentioned that the laws are different in different countries. So can your system work with the laws of any country? Is it limited to only the European Union or the United States? So talk about the geography so that the students know better which countries to focus on.
Yeah, so basically it's right now it's English only. So of course our potential customers should work with English contracts. We do support multi-language contracts, but still they need to be one part of the of the multi-language contract must be English. So our technology right now can work with English only. It's possibly actually to expand and add new languages, but at current stage, we're only interested in English-speaking markets, let's say.
And does
in
it mean
markets
that
where
so does it limit us to the United States and the United Kingdom and maybe Australia, or does it mean any country that also uses English in the legal profession?
any country that also uses English. For example, even China can potentially be a market because they have a lot of English Chinese multi-language contracts. But we as a company mostly focus on in our marketing strategies, we're mostly focus on USA, United Kingdom, Australia. Yeah, so it's like a trio. But potentially there can be more markets, of course.
Very good.
Yeah.
So another big question that we keep getting is, so how do you currently advertise your services? How do you try to promote yourselves?
Yeah, so that's the tricky part actually. So basically what we're doing right now is we're trying to fit the market at current stage. And we are speaking with different decision makers in different in-house counsel teams or law firms of different sizes. And the main value proposition for from our side is like extra development. So usually we don't try to sell Loio as is because we want to improve it. And since we are kind of innovative, it's a kind of an innovative product, we still don't know all the use cases which it can like work better with. So what we try to sell to our client is not like this product you see right now, but the possibility to improve the product the way the client wants. Because since we're a technology company, we can like do basically anything if the client is ready to pay it and if it will be useful for them.
Yeah.
So in terms of our like marketing channels, we mostly use outreach. We have some outreach sales. We have a lot of inbound requests because like the AI topic is booming right now, and since we have AI software, we have a lot of incoming requests. But our main focus at current stage is not to sell the product as is. We want to understand what to do next, you know?
That's a very good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, because for example, Loio has a limited set of supported contract types, I mean. And of course, we can expand them, like add more and more and more and more. But there are limited amounts of variations in different domains, in different like practice areas, etc., etc. And we need somehow to prioritize how to fill the Loio with new knowledge, you know, for the AI, for the models. That's why we always offer a client to improve it somehow, to add new contract types, to fine tune clauses like mandatory recommended clauses for them, to add some tips. Actually, since we didn't see the full demo, we also has other features. We also
Yegor's feed seems to have frozen. A few more quick questions because we have only about 5 minutes left before our next webinar needs to start. So gentlemen, a few more. So one comment to the students and then a few more quick questions. So the comment to the students, advertisement is still part of the challenge. And so I recommend that when you talk to lawyers, ask them how they normally receive information about their products. So I assume it's not something that you can, or this is not the kind of product that you would be advertising on TV. So try to find out if there are any periodicals, magazines, maybe journals that they read. Maybe there are some online forums where you can place ads that they go to. Maybe there are some chat rooms, maybe there are some conferences. So there may be some vehicles or channels of advertisement that are easy to access, maybe cheap or even free, and at the same time reach exactly the audience that the company is trying to reach. So one question that just popped up, who's funding you? So you seem to be at the product development stage. I assume it's very costly. So what's your revenue source at this time? Is it venture capitalists, or are you already revenue positive? So how does it work with the money on Loio?
Sorry, I have had an internet connection issue. Revenue is a very good question. Yeah, actually, our funding source is basically own funds. So yeah, Loio and Lorena and our other projects is funded from our own funds. We didn't like raised any capital right now.
Are you looking to raise capital though? I mean,
not yet.
Not yet. So you're not even ready to start accepting money. Okay.
Yeah, we actually ready to accept money on other projects, not Loio, but we don't need it at current stage, I would say, because you know, it's harder to spend money. Sometimes it's very hard to come up with a way how to efficiently spend the money to scale your business. And currently we are not able to consume more money to scale than we have. That's why we don't raise.
Later, when you start advertising yourself, that's when you will really need the money. Is that correct?
I would say when we will find a very efficient advertisement campaign, we will need money.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah. So, and at this time, I assume it's very difficult to find, to determine how much the company is worth. You probably don't want to sell yourself or shares of the company too cheaply, too early. So that's all. Yeah. So we are almost out of time. A couple more questions. So Kapolikan is asking about your model. So ChatGPT apparently uses information available only up until September 21. I know for a while it was able to go online. Now it's again offline, or rather access the web. Now it's not allowing you that option. So is your model up to date, or are you also only up until certain date, but not later?
Actually, our model is improving like continuously while we gather more data. I mean, like examples of contract types, because the interesting part here is that there isn't like a lot of contracts with personal data in the public internet, and that's the great data to train models on. So I believe that we may have more data in our data sets, like examples of contracts, than even ChatGPT had.
Interesting.
Because actually that's why we also offer custom development to our clients, because by offering custom development, we also ask them for the data.
From my end, I also would like to recommend to students a couple of books that I just recently read. So that's in my Audible, but you can also get some of them in paper on Amazon. So, but yeah, basically the contract law. So I like them, great courses. So that's professors teaching lectures as if you were in the classroom. Fascinating stuff. So we're talking about hundreds of years of, contracts have been around for literally for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And so these two I found to be most interesting. So I highly recommend that you get them. Useful for anyone, but especially for business students, as most of you are, but also incidentally useful for this particular challenge. So if you choose Loio as a customer, you might as well shore up your contract law knowledge. One last question from Vinayak here. are you planning to have a fixed or variable price? And I assume the question is, will you use some sort of a fixed subscription price, or will you be charging per tokens or units of work, or you don't know at this time yet?
We definitely will try to stay on the fixed subscription price, because it's like it's easier to estimate, it's easier to work with, and usually it's much profitable.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. All right, so we're pretty much out of time. We have another webinar in a few minutes. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for presenting the company. For the students, if you have any additional questions, just email them to us. We will forward them to the company. And I'm sure there will be many questions as you start working on this challenge. And yeah, let's see what kind of ideas you come up with. And hopefully you'll help the company grow. And when they become a unicorn one day, maybe when they will be interviewed by Forbes or something like that, they'll say, oh, yeah, those X-Culture students, there was this idea that helped us, reach this. So let's see how things go. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
And, so for students, we have another webinar later in a few minutes. So join us there as well.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.